Hey everyone, this is Derek with MMAnytt, and I'm with Taric Saffedine, who's been injured and is healthy. What's it like when you're training and you get injured? Do you want to like keep it a secret for a while? Do you tell people right away? Like what flashes through your mind? Like I'm gonna be hurt for a week, or what do I do now?
Well, it's frustrating, when you get injured, and especially someone like me who likes to train. I love to train. I love to be at the gym, so it was really frustrating, especially with the first injury in 2000, end of 2014, beginning of 2015, because that injury was difficult to diagnose. I had to see 5 to 6 different doctors. They all gave me different diagnoses. So it was a long process to really figure it out what I had, and that really pushed back my comeback for training and to fight. So it was really difficult on that side, and I had to be injured, like I said. So it was definitely frustrating.
Now, does it flash through your mind at the time, like, what do I do if I can't fight? Am I an accountant next year? Or does it flash your mind, or you just think, okay, step one, find out what it is. Step two, find ways to stay healthy.
Yeah, well, it's definitely crossed your mind, especially that I had other injuries before,
Mm-hmm.
and I know what it is to be on the sideline. So it's definitely something that you cross your mind, and it sucks. And in MMA, it's really hard to take precaution to really be injury free all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to deal with it, suck it up, and just take the time necessary to come back and be healthy.
And you're Belgian, so there's like 9 guys who are fighters from there. Is it hard being from a place where it's not a huge sport? Here you turn on any channel and there's some sort of fighting. Is it the same there? Was it difficult to get started once you decided this is what I want to do?
Well, I'm from a country where martial arts and combat sports are not part of the culture. The main sport is soccer, maybe a little bit of tennis and basketball. So when you're a fighter in Belgium or martial artist, people look at you a different way. They don't look at you like American fans of any sport.
Mm.
You don't get the same type of respect. So it's at the time when I started in Belgium, I felt like even though I had a couple of wins under my belt, I had to move to another place to improve and get maybe a career out of the thing that I do and I love. So that's why I moved to US, because I felt it was the best move for my career, take a chance. So, but at the same time, I'm honored at the same time to be the only one at this level.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody else that represent the country, and so it's I'm happy on that side. But I hope also it will boost a lot of upcoming fighter, because in Belgium we have a lot of talent, and I just spent a few days over there, and the level, especially for example in Muay Thai, even Jujitsu, it's really high level, So in a couple of years, hopefully, we'll see some great talents from there.
And what do you consider home in terms of, you were in California training, and then you went to Canada and training. How do you make the decision to go train somewhere else? How do you break that news to the people you were or going to train with? And do you get invited to go somewhere else, or how does that work?
Well, I've been training in California for a long time, for almost 8 years now, with Team Quest.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys were, a huge part of my career, not the biggest part of my career. I grew with them as a fighter, as an athlete, and I have a really close relationship with the coaches, with my teammates, even people from regular classes. I know them very well. So it was a tough decision when I decided to say, okay, I need a change. I need to switch camp for this fight. But there was no bad blood or nothing that pushed me away from the team. It was just my decision entirely, and they understood, and I really appreciate that, and the support. I'm still, texting them, now and then they want to know how I do, and so I really appreciate it. And leaving California to go to Montreal, outside of the weather change, is not, I just went there for training. My focus was on training. I was basically living in the gym. Tristar has those dorms in the same building, and I was going to the gym, going back to my room, eating, sleeping, and then go back to the gym every day. They call me the monk over there.
What is that life like when you're, what is that like?
It's it's something that I needed, and it kind of drains on you, but at the same time it pushed me. Every day I was just focused on training and recovering. So it really made me, I believe, better mentally. Because you are just in the gym 24/7. That's all you do, and I think it really pushed me really hard, and that's what I needed.
Do you think that's, to me, probably the hardest part of it, is that daily grind and staying mentally focused? And how difficult is that? It's like boot camp. People break, In America, we have soldiers who shoot themselves in the foot because, like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Is it how mentally draining is it?
It is mentally draining. Training every day for 3 months, it's tough, and especially where I was staying, in those dorms, there's nothing to do. It's a bunch of fighter, all training the same
all talking
goals.
About fighting.
All talking about fighting 24/7. That's all you can talk about. When you go in the gym, you talk about fighting. When you're with your coach, you talk about fighting. So it's you're surrounded by it. At the same time, I like I said, I need it, and it was a good thing for me, I believe, for this fight, for this camp. And so it was mentally challenging, but it was good.
And how do you, when you say, we were talking a second ago, you always hear Joe Rogan say, like, that guy has high level Muay Thai, but if you know real Muay Thai, if you know like a Bukawa guy, you're like, no, he doesn't. Senchai Sunstar would eat him alive. Like, when you see that level, that difference, is it shocking? Is it like, oh, this guy, he's got something figured out? Like, and why don't people in mixed martial arts really have that level? Some do. Some are really good, but not Senchai Sunstar, not that.
It's funny you bring that point, because I was talking about it with my coach, who is a really high-level Muay Thai fighter in Europe. And for me, I truly believe that the level in Muay Thai and MMA is far from the highest level in Muay Thai, like pure Muay Thai, the purists, But I believe that, so if you put an MMA fighter inside the ring with a high-level Muay Thai fighter, I believe like 99% of the time the Muay Thai fighter is going to win at the highest level. But if you put a Muay Thai fighter inside the cage with an MMA fighter, it's so different. The distance is so different. There is so much more room inside the cage. The guy move around so much more. They use different angles, different technique. It's a weird style to read, So I think it's, for example, when I watch the heavyweights, when they fight, the technique is when you put them against a Gokhan Saki, it's the level is just too far apart. So I think that it's a big improvement to do in MMA. And to catch up with the Muay Thai level, it's going to take some time, yeah.
And in terms of Muay Thai, there's the guys who learn the traditional way. So when they kick not to land a point. They don't hit with the lower. They kick right. In terms of that, doesn't work, or because you're too close and they can grab you, or how do you feel about that? And also, explain the difference between, because most people don't know, there's Dutch style, and then there's classic Muay Thai, and then there's kind of like the Western is like just boxing and then throwing a teep every so often. Like, can you explain the differences? And how effective they are?
Yeah, well, I think the Muay Thai in MMA is when I look at the fighters in MMA when they train stand up, a lot of them just train boxing, and they maybe throw a kick here and there,
Yeah.
but they don't understand the effectiveness of the kicks, of the knees, of the elbows. It's so effective, you know, and I think people stay in the mind of oh, if he kicks me, I'm just gonna catch the kick. But if you get kicked really hard on your leg or on your arms or in your body, thing can change really quickly. So it's extremely effective. Try to catch a kick of Bakao, and we'll see if you can take him down. You know, so that easily. So it's something that people I believe still need to accept in their game, and I don't think the mind, especially in America, the Muay Thai's level is not as high in Western Europe or in Thailand. It's growing, but a lot of people they just stick to boxing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's, for me personally, it's a mistake. But you know, everybody has his style. And as far as the style, different style. Well, there's Muay Thai. I don't know all the style. Everybody's different style, but obviously you have Muay Thai, the pure Muay Thai from Thailand. You have what's called the Dutch style or K1 style, and you have the mix of both. You know, Dutch style and Muay Thai. Dutch style is more you know, boxing combined with kicks. I like that style. I like the Muay Thai style too. You have the kickboxing, which you just box and kick. You don't have knees or elbows. You have Savat, you know, French kickboxing. It's more points, score system. So you have all those different styles and you gotta find the ones that kind of works really well with yours, you know.
Was it hard because wrestling is huge here, and then the other? Was it in Belgium? Is it huge? Was it hard like picking up those things before you went to Team Quest because you got Dan Henderson and those guys? Was it hard picking up things like that, or did you have high level good wrestlers there as well?
I'll give you an anecdote. So I went there first week at Team Quest, and I was basically seeing my face on the ground more than anything else. You know, I was getting my face smashed on the ground every day by getting thrown, by getting taken down. I thought I had a bit of wrestling, but I knew I didn't have it. But I did a bit of judo, so I thought I had a little bit of base. It was nothing compared to what those guys brought in the gym. So I quickly realized what really wrestling was. I got my butt kicked every day, but I loved it, you know, because I was learning and I was improving. And so wrestling in the US is unbelievable level, man. It's great to train. I'm still training every day with some of the best wrestlers. So it's a game that I love. It's an unbelievable sport, and I love to keep on learning.
In learning and stuff, I've ran into when you were competing at a jiu-jitsu tournament. You're the only UFC fighter competing. Is it because other guys just don't want to take a chance? Maybe they do good, maybe they do bad, but they just kind of want to be good in their gym and then go fight. But they don't want to, you know, go test this and check that. And you're trying. Win, lose, or draw. You're like, yeah, I'll go do that. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, I'll do this and that.
Yeah. Well, it's something that I've been doing for a long time, you know, back in Belgium, and I kind of lost it when I came to the US. When I was training in Belgium, I used to fight one weekend. I used to fight in Muay Thai, and then the next weekend I would have a fight in karate, and then the next weekend I would have a tournament in Jujitsu. So that was when I was an amateur. My coach would send us, you know, all those different tournaments to get us, you know, as versatile as possible. And so that's how I grew. But when you do that, it's good for MMA, but you don't become really good at one thing. But you become good at getting it ready for amateur MMA, but you don't get ready to be really good at one thing, at one sport. So that's why, you know, I kind of went towards MMA more than anything else. And so I was competing in all those different type of style. And so when I went to the US, I really focused only on MMA, and I kind of lose that tournament, you know, going every week. Yeah, that drive to go and and compete every weekend. But I'm a huge fan of Jiu-Jitsu. I love Jiu-Jitsu. I love to put on the gi. I love to train, and I didn't have the chance to compete as much as I wanted to, because of training and fighting and injuries, unfortunately. But yeah, it's something I love to do. Put on the gi and compete, man. It's something that I really love to do.
And injury-wise, let's say you're talking to Mazdak over there, and he wants to start fighting tomorrow after he loses his belly. What advice could you give someone starting out? Like, don't do this. Trust me, you're gonna get injured. Trust me, if you're doing it wrong. Is there anything you look back and go, I shouldn't have, ran stairs with a weighted vest every day because it'll blow my knee out? Is there things you learned and tips you can give people?
Yeah, definitely. It's there's a lot of things, a lot of details that I would have changed as far as preparation, as far as recovery. I used to be in the gym 24/7. Literally like training 3 to 4 times a day, hard for weeks and weeks, and it's the stupidest thing you can do, because you drain your body, but you're young, so you feel the energy, and so you don't realize that you have micro injuries, in your knees and your elbows, and with the times, it goes worse and worse. And so my advice is to Mazdak, or to whoever wants to, who's young and hungry, because you're really hungry when you're young, is to really take the time to recover. Even when you feel like you don't need it, it's really important to recover. Take some time off, listen to your body. Even if it feels like you can push, sometimes you just gotta step back, and I know it's hard, because you don't feel it, but it's really important. And also I think the strength conditioning that I've been doing for many years wasn't the right one. It was a good one, but not the right one for me. Yeah, so that's the thing that I can give as advice. Surround yourself with the best trainers that have been in the game for a long time. They know how to train you, how to push you, and how to slow you down. So that would be my advice.
And last question would be, I don't know if I just said last question. Either way, last question would be keeping your drive. Like, when you're 20, it's fun to go to 4 classes, and when you turn 25, it's kind of, and then you get a wife and a kid and life, and yeah, you have bills, so it's part of, this is what I do for a living. But is it how do you motivate yourself to go to the gym when you don't feel like it? How do you keep that drive when you see other opportunities and say, no, I gotta stay on this, I just gotta, it's kind of like you're applying for a job and they keep saying no, but you keep applying. Where do you find that motivation and that drive to do it?
Well, it's for me personally, it's not hard for me to go to the gym. Sometimes it is, you have your days you want to stay in the bed, you don't want to do anything. But for me, I like to go in the gym. I like to train. It's not something that even if I stop fighting, I will still be training. It's something that I really enjoy. But as far as the drive, it's a good question. I think for me personally, with all those injuries, I want to go back. I still have something to prove. I want to prove that those injuries is not gonna set me back, not at all. I'm more focused than ever, and I'm more hungry. Because of all those setbacks that I had. They cannot keep me down. So that drives me a lot for this fight, especially for this camp. So that's why I was able to really push hard.
Yeah.
And be ready for this Saturday.
And survive the winter.
And survive the winter as well.
All right, thank you, Rella.
You're welcome. It was a good interview. Thank you. Good questions.